Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the stream. Thank you guys very much for being here today, I appreciate it. Yeah, this is the Narcissus add-on. Not to be confused with Narcissist, which I've been accused of being. Narcissus. It's pretty cool. I really only use it for photo mode, because it has a pretty cool photo mode. But it also has the character screen. I've heard that it's really useful for like swapping out gems. I guess it's easier to swap out gems with this than it is with the old Blizzard UI. So if you were playing a lot of Remix, then you'd probably want it. I just have it because it looks pretty. Alright, let's have a look at a few things. Yeah, we can make some of these. Alright, I think we're heading down to Fairbreeze Village. Pretty sure that's our next step. Apparently we have a level 10 quest over this way. I don't know if that's a mage quest? The purest water, the recently living. I'm gonna swing over here and pick this up just to see what it is. And then we'll head down to Fairbreeze. No way someone accused me of being a narcissist? Well, I know it's hard to believe. But it's definitely it's definitely happened. And you know, I'm not even saying that they're necessarily wrong. We are going to do some herbalism on the way. I'm going to try really hard to like spend extra time collecting herbs, because if I don't do that, then we're going to out-level. We're gonna out-zone our capacity to pick up herbs. And if I'm going to play this character, I would really very much like it to be a complete character with complete professions. If I'm going to bother leveling it at all, I would like to do the whole shebang. Ah, yes, we have our trusty water elemental. We are now a pet class, which wasn't really what I was expecting when I rolled the mage. It's interesting how they eventually revert this. You know, like, we didn't have a water elemental. In Cataclysm, apparently, we got a permanent water elemental, and then eventually it goes back to being a cooldown, and then I think it goes away, like, completely. When I think about my Frost Mage in retail... Oh yeah, I do have a water elemental, don't I? I think I have a cooldown in retail that's like, you summon the water elemental out for a little bit. But yeah, I guess like they wanted this to be a pet spec, and then they were like, no. No pet spec for you. Esme, you're not the only one who recently realized that all the crocolisk in the game have 6 legs. It's mind-blowing. Yeah, I mean, I played for 20 years without knowing. So, you know, it happens to the best of us. Johnny with the $10 Superman. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you, especially so early in the morning when I can barely speak. Thanks, man. That's awesome of you.
Anaria Shola.
Fetch.
We will have justice.
Don't be flattered I know your name. One of my students has been fawning over you and won't shut up. If you'd like to impress him, why don't you do something for me? There's an Azure file at the bottom of the pond behind me. Dive in, retrieve it, and bring it here. This guy just likes to get us in the water.
Remember the Sunwell.
This is like the second water diving quest we've done adjacent to this guy. Yeah, apparently in Cataclysm, the water elemental is permanent. He stays out. He just stays out with you completely. Buffalo Bill with the $20 super. You guys are being very generous. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That's incredibly kind. I'm pretty sure that that's going to make the bar move more than the bar moved for the entirety of last week's goal. So I really appreciate it. That is if my widgets are working today. Well, let's see if my widget's working. Oh god, I don't see the widget moving. I might have widget problems. Let me check. Let's just make sure that it's connected properly. Yeah, we're logged into the right account. Super chance. When I look in Streamlabs, it's tracking properly. Oh, there we go. Now it updated. Okay. False alarm. All my widgets are working properly. Call off the dogs.
Our enemies will fall.
I've had my widgets break before, so yeah, it just took it a minute to catch up.
Shorelaran, keep your wits about you.
Well done. I told you to jump in a pond, and you did. I can only imagine what you'd do if one of our good friends asked it of you. Okay. If you want a reward for your efforts, it is this. Never lift a finger without first knowing what's in it for you. The mage's mind is her greatest weapon. Remember that and try to use yours a bit more. Wow, this guy is a jerk. He was like, LOL, I told you to jump in the water, and you did! You are an idiot!
The reckoning is at hand.
Now that you've learned a little lesson, I'll offer you something more substantial. It concerns your ability to defend yourself in close combat. Of course, you should only resort to melee in the most dire circumstance, but that is no excuse to be unprepared. I can assist you in creating a staff befitting a mage of your learning. Simply take the file you retrieved for me and fill it at the base of Elrondar Falls. Okay. Oh, this is a mage quest. Okay.
Farewell.
This is why I'm not familiar with this one, because I've probably only done this a handful of times. This is way down here. I don't know, like maybe I do want to do that now. I don't think so. I don't think we want to do that right now. I think we can wait. We can wait. Let's head over to Fairbreeze. Let's kind of like take the off-road path here in the hopes of getting some herbs. Oh, and he's a caster. So he's not necessarily going to run up and tank stuff. He's not a Void Walker. He's going to stand back and blast stuff. That's a little bit different. Yeah, it is going to be unfortunate when we have to leave this zone. Yeah, I kind of wish there was just like more Quel'Thalas to do. Like, I wish we could, I like the Ghostlands. I wish we can go from here to the Ghostlands and then just into like more Quel'Thalas. That would be really nice. As it is right now, I don't know what we're gonna do once we leave the Ghostlands. We could just do Eastern Kingdom stuff, but that would be like mainly doing the Forsaken quest. We'll see what level we are once we're done. I'm gonna try to do everything here, and we'll see if we out-level the content or not, but I'm gonna try to do everything in Eversong, everything in the Ghostlands, and then we can figure out like what we want to do after that. I don't like pets. No, when I started this character, I didn't realize that the Frost Mage was a pet class. Because it's only a pet class for Cataclysm. I'm pretty sure by MOP this gets reverted back to a cooldown. So, I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't do the thing that I hate most about pet classes is when the pet runs up and tanks the mob like really far away from you. This doesn't seem like he's gonna do that. It seems like he's gonna stand back and shoot. Like, let's see what he does. Yeah, he's gonna... Okay, this is okay. Because he's not running up and just tanking the mob away from us. He's just blasting. Like, and that's okay. He's like a turret, basically. I don't mind having a turret. Having a turret is a little bit different than having a pet. Not a lot of herbs out here today. He's also like far enough away from us. Sometimes the pets get too close to the character model and it gets really, really annoying how much of the screen they fill up. He's like an okay size and he doesn't stand too close to us. Warlock Imp would be fine. Yeah, the Warlock Imp would be fine, but the class is kind of built to use a Voidwalker while leveling up. Like, I'm sure you can use an Imp. Especially now in Cataclysm, you could probably go Imp and it wouldn't really matter. I don't like the Warlock fantasy.
Malinore. Be ready for anything. Remember the Sunwell.
Wherever this herb is, it doesn't look like we're getting to it from down here. I'm not sure. Maybe we'd have to go around the back of the mountain to get to it. How has my day been? It's been good so far, but I've only been awake for about 2 hours. It has plenty of opportunity to go sideways.
The dark times
but for now,
will
it's been
pass.
great.
We will have justice.
Yeah, Dustin, it's been almost a year, I think. Didn't Official Hardcore come out last August? Pretty sure it was sometime last August.
Yes.
I could be way off.
Time is of the essence. Salama Ashalanore. Hold your head high.
Do I want to set the Hearthstone here? Like, kind of, but not really. The problem with being here is that we don't have a class trainer. So, like, the class trainer is back in the ruins of Silvermoon. I've always kind of wondered why they didn't put some class trainers out here. You spend a lot of your time based out of Fairbreeze Village. It's a little bit of a run to get back. I think I'm going to leave the Hearthstone back here. That way we can train eventually.
Enubelore Delana. The reckoning is at hand.
What do you seek? The reckoning is at hand.
Where's the Holy Pally? On the login screen where I left her. We did some healing yesterday, and I decided healing wasn't for me. I get too distracted. It's too bothersome for me to run a stream and worry about keeping people alive at the same time. So we tried it. We did a couple heroics.
Remember the sun well. Farewell.
And ultimately I just decided it wasn't for me. It's nice to have the character at cap though. That way, you know, maybe we play that character in the future. You know, we still have Mop Classic and WoD Classic and Legion Classic and Bifa Classic and Shadowlands Classic. You know, a Paladin might be something that could come in handy eventually. I have one more quest here somewhere. What am I... Oh, he's on the other platform. Oh, do we have a flight here? Is this new? Did they add this guy for Cataclysm? I don't remember a flight master here. I'm pretty sure this is new.
The reckoning is at hand.
The War Within Classic,
Remember
right?
the sun well.
Yeah, I don't remember this.
Farewell.
In that case, I can set my Hearthstone here.
Salama Ashalanore.
Because then we can just fly back to Silvermoon to train whenever we want to. We don't have to train every 2 levels.
Choose wisely.
Are they going to remake every expansion? They're not going to. They're not remaking them. Let's just say they're going to re-release them. Yes. Are they going to re-release every expansion?
We will have justice.
Probably. Probably. They're doing a progression. Like these are progression servers, except they're never going to use that terminology, especially when we're getting like really short expansions, like how Cataclysm is going to last for only 8 months. That's more like a progression server than it is like a full like re-release of an expansion. Because if you're re-releasing an expansion, you're going to do it on like a normal timeline that the expansion actually released with. And if you're releasing an actual expansion, you're going to give it time to breathe. If you're running a progression server, then you're going to want the content cadence to be a bit faster than that. And so these are now classic progression servers. And so like every 8 to 10 months, you're going to see a new expansion come out. But they're just not calling them that. But yeah, I would assume in the spirit of a progression server, I would assume they just keep releasing the content until they're caught up to current, and then you reset. That's kind of the spirit of a progression server. You release all the content up into the current content, and then you reset. In this case, it's going to take a number of years. They could release the content faster. I don't think it would bother too many people. At this point, I don't think it would bother too many people if they released content even faster than they're currently doing. Shadowlands was the best expansion ever. We'll see when we see it again. Maybe we'll feel differently. Shadowlands might ring a little bit differently without like the cube crawls and without people at Blizzard stealing milk from the fridge. Like Shadowlands might ring a little bit differently. I guess we'll have to wait and see. A couple years, we'll see. What is proccing? I see that my Frostbolt keeps proccing something, but then I don't see anything up here that's telling me what the proc is. On my action bar, my Frostbolt is getting highlighted in a glowy glow. And then usually I would look up here to see like what the proc is, but there is no proc. Like it's doing it right now. What does this mean? Why is my Frostbolt glowing? Is this a bug? Because I don't have anything that should really be proccing off this. Like, we've spent 1 talent point, and that's it. Reduces the cast time. Oh, wait. This effect becomes inactive for 15 seconds. What does that mean? Reduces the cast time of your Frostbolt spell by 0.3 seconds. This effect becomes inactive for 15 seconds after use. What? So it doesn't just reduce the cast time. It only reduces the cast time some of the time. Specifically when it's outlined with a glowy glow. Yeah, I don't like that. That's weird. I didn't understand that about the talent when I picked it. I thought we were getting a faster Frostbolt, but apparently that's really not what we're getting. We're getting a faster Frostbolt sometimes, and other times not. Yes, it is. It's the proc for reduced cast time. That's crazy to me because I didn't read it like that originally. I thought we were like just doing some old school improved Frostbolt stuff, and we were getting a faster Frostbolt like the whole time. But yeah, not the case. Not the case. Again, this is something it's not very useful to us while we're leveling up. Because we're simply not having to do enough spells for it to be like super useful. That's more of something that would be useful at endgame. Which is like, that's true of 80% of the talents that I've encountered in Cata. It's like a lot of them are like useful at endgame, but not like super useful while you're leveling up.
Our enemies will fall. Keep your wits about you. The reckoning is at hand.
The eternal sun guides us. Shorelaran.
Alright, we can go do the Murloc stuff while we're out here too. We have the quest for the named guy. And then we also have to get 6 of the cargo. Oh, that's right. The pet comes with another Frost Nova. Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna put this. Oh, I can't put it on my actual hotbar. That's a bummer. I should definitely be able to move this like wherever I want. Yeah, that sucks. I don't want to hit Control 4. I would like to just press one of my normal keybinds. I could rebind this entire button, I guess. Yeah, I can actually go into keybinds and change it, but it's not really necessary right now. Maybe if I had more abilities that like procced off of frozen targets, then maybe then I'll do it. Oh, it's a template anyway. It's not just like a burst around them, I actually have to lay the template. Here's the name guy. Okay, so that quest, we have to take that all the way back to the little island over here. For the Ring of Mgril.
We will persevere. Death to all who oppose us. We will have justice.
I'm actually really surprised that none of the crates have respawned. There's got to be another player here. There's no way these haven't respawned yet, at least once. Yeah, I always try to avoid going into the building until I have the quest for the named guy. But yeah, if we have to, we can work our way up in the building a little bit. There's a couple here on the outside. What do we need? We need a few more.
Anaria Shola. Shorel Oran. Death to all who oppose us. We will have justice.
Glory to the Sindorai. Keep your wits about you. Remember the Sunwell.
How did I change the quest UI from being beige to black? The whole UI is an add-on called Dialogue UI. When you get into a quest, like you click on a quest giver and get into that menu, you hit F1. F1 brings up options. And in the options, you'll have an option to turn it to dark mode. I prefer dark mode. All your retail add-ons are broked. Not surprised. The whole game was borked until late last night. I think I tried to log in at like 10 o'clock my time, and the servers were still not up. All I wanted to do was look at the warband screen. It's not like there's anything to actually do in the pre-patch. But I didn't get to look at the warband screen till today. And then I was like, oh good, warbands. And then I logged out. The new login screen music is pretty good. I like the remixed login screen music. The login screen itself is meh, but the login screen itself is going to change when the expansion actually comes out. This is like the prologue login screen. And there's going to be a different login screen when War Within actually launches. That's something they haven't done before. Yeah, it didn't matter anyway because there's nothing to do in the game right now. Season 4 is over, so even if you were trying to do Mythic Plus, or even if you were doing PvP, like raiding, like all that stuff is done. So like now more so than ever, there's really nothing to do in Dragonflight. You just wait, right now you're just waiting. I guess if you like, I guess you're waiting until at least the 30th, and then on the 30th you'll have the world event to do. If you have any characters that can benefit from item level 480 gear, you can do the world events. And none of my characters need 480 gear, and I don't really care about the transmog too much. So I don't really know how much of that I'm gonna bother with. Seems like kind of a waste of my time.
Keep your wits about you. The reckoning is at hand.
I think I'm just waiting for the War Within to actually come out, as far as like playing retail goes. Is there server lag on retail? I don't know if anyone's actually bothering to play retail. I don't know. The servers were down for a very long time, and now they're back up. I logged in for a second in Veldraken, and then I logged back out. I guess if the servers are going to be like super laggy, now's a good time. Because like I said, there's just not a lot to do. It's the shortest main story they've done. Yeah, I heard about that from the Taliesin and Evitel interview. They said that they have data which supports the idea that players do not like story. And all I thought about that is they're confused between players not liking story and players not liking their story, because historically the in-game storytelling in WoW has not been good. And I guess instead of trying to make a better story, or a more interesting story, or convey the story in a more interesting way in the game, instead of doing any of that, they took the corporate approach and they just reduced the amount of story. So that's, you know, depressing. But I'm sure the lore and stuff will still be good. But the in-game story is going to be short. And I feel like in World of Warcraft, you fly through the in-game story anyway. Events happen so quickly, and hardly ever does like any plot event have room to breathe at all. And so like I can't really imagine like what is it like for the story to be even shorter. You're just gonna be flying through big events like boom, 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 and then it's gonna be over. Like, I am going to do all the side stories, so I'm going to read all the main quest, I'm going to read all the side quests, and so I think my experience will be a little bit better. But yeah, if you're somebody who's just going to do the main story questing, apparently you're in for a really short experience. Because Blizzard has data that says you don't like stories. They have direct data that unequivocally proves that you, as a player of video games, you don't like stories. So they have made their story shorter for you, a player of RPGs who doesn't like story.
Anaria Shola. We will have justice. Farewell.
The main campaign in Dragonflight's missing key details. Yeah, the main campaign in Dragonflight is also very disjointed because of the way that you kind of move to the different zones. But like the story doesn't really connect very well across the 3 zones. The only story that was like actually like directly coherent to itself was the Emerald Dream stuff. Like, I remember I did the Emerald Dream stuff after it had all been released, all the content was already out, and I just did the Emerald Dream stuff all the way through, and like that felt like kind of a semi-coherent story that I was following, with characters and events, and it kind of made sense. But the core MSQ of Dragonflight, like especially like the launch MSQ, like it didn't really feel connected amongst the 3 different zones. It felt very, very disjointed, very separated. So we'll see if they... I don't really know, like the story was just that there were some elementalist dragons. They were mad because the Titans wanted to turn them into ordered dragons. And so Alexstrasza, like, they locked them all up.
Farewell. ...
Eventually now they're out and they're pissed off. Because they didn't want to become ordered dragons and they got locked up for a long time. And it's like, none of it matters. The only thing that matters for you to know for the world building, the biggest important thing is that the Titans are not good guys. That was like the only... There's only like... WoW tells a story, but it tells a story in a way that there are only a few like important takeaways. And really the only important takeaway of all of Dragonflight can be summed up in a couple of sentences. The dragons, some of them got ordered, some of them didn't want to be ordered. The Titans didn't want to give them any choice. The Titans are a bunch of jerks. The Titans are not the good guys. The Titans' timeline is not the only true timeline. It is the timeline the Titans want to preserve. And that's it. If you understand those facets, then that's really all you need to know from the Dragonflight story. Those are the only things that are going to be pertinent. Is that the Titans are not good guys. That's going to come back around. They just want to order stuff. That's all they care about. They care about ordering things. The only future they care about is a future where everything is perfectly ordered. And they're not the good guys. And it makes sense that they're not the good guys because like they're not of Azeroth. They are Titans, and like a lot of the life that is on Azeroth is because of them, because a lot of the life on Azeroth is not native to Azeroth. The only native life forms are trolls, elves, and Tauren variants. Troll variants, Tauren variants, and elf variants. Those are the only life forms like that were actually on Azeroth to begin with. Everything else, like humans, dwarves, gnomes, goblins, those are Titan constructs that got the Curse of Flesh. And then the orcs and the Draenei, those are aliens. So yeah. Humans came from the Vykril, and the Vykril came from Titan constructs. And they were all like metal and stone and stuff. And then eventually, because of the old gods, I forget which one, maybe it was Yasharaj, the one that Aman'Thul ripped out of the planet, I don't know. Well, they got the Curse of Flesh. Like, the old gods corrupted the Titan creations with the Curse of Flesh. And instead of being, like, robotic or stony things, they started to become fleshy things. And in the Vykril's case, they started to shrink and diminish. So, over generations, the Vykril not only turned fleshy, but they started to have smaller babies. And those smaller babies, they wanted to kill them, they wanted to get rid of them. So what started to happen was that some Vykril took their smaller babies and they went away. And they ended up settling in a place that we know as Tirisfal Glades. So they took their smaller babies and their smaller people, they went to Tirisfal Glades and they became the humans that later formed Lordaeron. And that's the origin of humanity. Humanity was a Titan construct. Same thing with the dwarves, same things with the gnomes. They started as the earthen and as the mechagnomes. Goblins were also a Titan construct. Trogs. Yep, and then the only native intelligent species to Azeroth were the Tauren variants, so Tauren, High Mountain Tauren, the Yamgul, the probably pandas too. I'm pretty sure pandas might have been originating on Azeroth. And then trolls, elves. Well, trolls became elves because they were spent too long next to the Well of Eternity, and they like slowly stopped being trolls, and they became the Highborn. The Highborn eventually devolved to become the High Elves and the Night Elves. But yeah, a little bit of history. I'm pretty sure the pandas were native to Azeroth, and then the Mogul were Titan constructs. Yep, I think that's it. I think that basically covers like most of the races that exist. I've been reading the Chronicle books. I'm like 2/3 of the way done with Chronicle 2. I should probably go talk to the Wayward Apprentice. I could have been doing that while killing these guys. I have a good memory to remember all this. This will be the second time I've read the Chronicle books. And the only reason I still remember it is because I've been making a conscious effort to try to remember some of it. And with it being my second time through the books, like some of it is sticking. I've also been trying to think about it in context, like while I'm playing the game. Because otherwise, like I typically have a very bad memory for like lore. I can read a bunch of lore and like really enjoy a bunch of lore, and then I can forget a bunch of lore just as fast. And even within what I've just talked about, there's probably a bunch of stuff that I'm missing. Who's my favorite WoW character? I don't have any really favorite characters anymore. They've mistreated, like, so many of the characters that I used to like have been mistreated. I guess I like the characters who haven't been around a lot. Like Illidan is still a good character. Khadgar is a good character, but I got a bad feeling about Khadgar going into the War Within. I was really upset that Khadgar did not have a bigger role in the Dragonflight story. He was prominent in the very beginning. He even had like a little cutscene in Karazhan. And I thought, oh, awesome, like we get to see more Khadgar, more character development for Khadgar. And no, I don't think they know how to develop characters anymore. Because there's no one working at Blizzard who's been around like as the characters develop. So what they like to do, they like to make up characters, and then they focus developing characters on the characters they make up. Like characters like Emberthal from Dragonflight. Like Emberthal had a pretty decent arc. Emberthal was a made-up character that the Dragonflight writers made up. Same thing with like Viranoth and some of the Primalist. They tend to spend their energies these days developing characters that I don't care about because they want to develop their new characters. And there really hasn't been any attempt to really develop existing characters that have been around in the lore for a long time. I think part of it is that they're afraid to do it, but I think the other part of it is that they know that they can't. Because they're just not familiar enough with those characters, because everyone that works at Blizzard now is like a Disney baby. And like they didn't play Warcraft because they were not even created when the game came out. And so they just don't feel comfortable doing it. So they spend a lot of their creative juice when it comes to character development, developing these other characters that I just don't care about. But yeah, I mean, historically I've liked Khadgar has been my favorite character. Illidan's a good character. I hate Thrall. Thrall's like the worst character ever written or created. His arc has been terrible. I'm so sick of Thrall. I'm sick of seeing Thrall. I liked Sylvanas prior to about midway through BFA, obviously. Sylvanas' character went way wrong. I was really excited when she became War Chief. Like, I was like, oh, this is a great plot point for her. And then obviously, like, they misused that and they turned that into something really terrible and stupid. And so, like, you know, she's out of the picture. Now they're using some, like, they're using Anduin. They're gonna keep trying to develop Anduin. Like, that's okay. I don't mind Anduin. I'd like to see him become a little bit more of a badass, if that's possible, but I doubt it with the current writers. It's probably not gonna happen. Who else is, like, prominently featured in this expansion? Is Jaina's gonna play a role? I don't really like Jaina. I feel like they've also done a bad job of developing Jaina. Like, who else? And then the Void Elf lady, whose name I can't remember. I want to call her Verisa, but her name is not Verisa. That's her sister. I don't even remember her name. That's how, like, little I care about her. So they're going to develop that character because they haven't really developed that character a lot in the past, so they can kind of do what they want with her. One day they might even get me to remember her name. Bolvar? Yeah, I wanted Bolvar to have a bigger role in the Shadowlands story. I thought, man, Bolvar...
State your business. Like,
he's going to have a redemption arc here. He got slapped around by Sylvanas, and he's going to come back and, like, unlock some cool power, and he's going to get his revenge on somebody. And then the dude didn't do anything. And then the dude, like, in patch 9.2, you see Bolvar a little bit. Like, he runs around with his daughter a little bit. In patch 9.2, we hear some dialogue between them, but... And then Bolvar just goes away. Like, here's a question. What happened to Bolvar after the Shadowlands ended? Do we know where Bolvar is right now? I don't know.
Salama.
I played 9.2. I played the story campaign in 9.2. I don't know what Bolvar's doing. I don't know what happened to him after Shadowlands. I have no idea.
The dark times
Bolvar was wasted. Bane was wasted.
The reckoning is at hand.
Draka, like Draka was wasted. Basically every character that they used in the... Oh damn, I gotta defend this lady. Every character they used in Shadowlands was wasted. Uther, I was, like, really mad about what they did to my boy Uther. Uther was, like, my favorite character. Okay, like, and I was really excited to see him again in the Shadowlands. And then for some reason he was Papa Smurf. And I just, like, and then he never stopped being Papa Smurf. And like, okay, this is not what I wanted.
The eternal sun
This is not the Uther
us.
that I wanted to see.
Be ready for anything.
This is why we need Illidan to come back and slap some people. Yeah, I think Illidan's gonna come back on a ship full of dead titans. Like, him and Sargeras are gonna be, like, playing chess on the ship together when it comes back, and he's gonna be like, yeah, you guys probably know this already, but the titans were jerks, so we killed them. And we're gonna be like, yeah, we know. And he's gonna be like, oh yeah, by the way, Sargeras is our buddy now. And that's gonna be how that wraps up. Alex, good afternoon, man. Welcome to the stream. Vol'jin was a good character that got wasted. Yep. So I think what we're gonna see in the War Within is gonna be a lot more writing that's very similar to Dragonflight. So we're gonna see characters be developed, but the characters that get developed are gonna be like the characters that are not the big characters that we know. You're gonna see arcs for characters like Moira. You're gonna see arcs for like some of the Earthen characters that we meet in the Isle of Dorne. You're gonna see like some okay character arcs written for characters, but they're probably not going to be for the major players. You're probably not going to see like a lot of on-screen development for people like Anduin, Jaina, Verisa's sister, yet to be named. I don't trust them to develop those characters in a big way because they didn't with Dragonflight. They had some big players, and a lot of their efforts were spent on developing like the minor characters. And I feel like their writing in The War Within is pretty much exactly the same as the writing was in Dragonflight. And so I think you'll see a lot of arcs that center around like the B-list characters. And I don't think we'll have a lot of like big screen time with the major players. I think a lot of that will probably get saved for like midnight and the final expansion, when like Metzen has had more direct influence over the direct storytelling of the expansions. I think War Within is going to feel very similar in storytelling and in how it handles its characters the way that Dragonflight did. Is Anduin still a priest? Anduin has lost his connection to the light. He's having light dysfunction in the same way that Thrall has elemental dysfunction. So right now I think the bro is just like an underleveled warrior. I don't think he has access to the light. When we start off in War Within, he doesn't have a connection to the light anymore. So he's just a dude in an armored suit with a sword. I really wanted them to pursue like the void side of his powers and have him find some way to like come to terms with the fact that like as a priest you use both light and void. But it doesn't seem like they're taking that route with it either. It's not that he's like using void now, he just has been cut off from the light.
Stay the course.
And so that's kind of a boring like character thing. You have two characters who like the premise for their character development is that they have both lost connection to the power that they once had. Like that's an okay arc to do once for one character. And they've already done it with Thrall. Thrall has already had elemental dysfunction before, and he's had to like overcome that. And then he's had to just like straight up become a warrior again. And I thought that was an okay arc for Thrall, to kind of like stop being a shaman, to relinquish that part of him, and to just embrace being a warrior. But apparently we're not doing that anymore either. Now we're back to, oh no, I can't commune with the elements. And so for them to do that with Anduin and Thrall at the same time, I feel like that's kind of lazy. It's not like super compelling. Your dad won't budge from the idea that Anduin is a paladin because of the armor he wears. I mean, like, if he's thinking about stuff in the game, like, he's not wrong. Unfortunately, they do that kind of thing all the time, where, like, characters exhibit, like, parts of classes that are not actually a part of their class. Like, yeah, even in Battle for Azeroth, Anduin seemed a lot more like a battle cleric than he did a priest. But, like, a cleric is a thing. A cleric is what they were, like, before they were paladins, they were called clerics. And they would go and they would be on the front lines of battle, but they didn't really know how to fight very well, and their armor wasn't the best. And so, like, during the Second War, like, the Horde would target clerics. Like, they just tried to kill the clerics as soon as they could, because the clerics were, like, obviously, like, healing the soldiers up. So they would target clerics. And then eventually they decided to become paladins. Like, okay, let's train in, like, the ways of combat and the ways of the light. That way we can actually be frontline fighters, and we can still heal, we can still use the light. So Anduin is more like a cleric. Like a battle cleric. Now he's nothing. Now he's just a dude who looks like super beat up for his age, who carries around a broken sword and has some like chintzy looking armor. And that's it. Void Priest? I mean, that's basically what a Shadow Priest is. Like, you're using the Void. You know, like, the cool thing is, like, some of the priest abilities we saw in the hero talent tree, like, it's looking more like cosmic magic than it is like the shadowy void magic. And that's a really cool, like, idea for the priest, is for them to be just embracing this more, like, cosmic void magic, and not necessarily, like, void that simply comes from, like, the old gods or the void lords, but just, like, the energy of cosmic itself. YouTube is having lag. Yeah, Alex, you're right. I see it now. This is day number 2. Day number 2 in a row for YouTube having lag during the stream. not. I don't think there's anything I can do about this on my end. Let me have a look. The current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Oh, okay. Now it's complaining that my bitrate isn't high enough. Oh, I can fix that. Oh, my bitrate isn't high enough, you say? Okay, YouTube. Okay, okay. I see how it is. We'll give this a minute to see if it, like, smooths out at all. We'll give it some time. I will run around and collect some herbs for a minute. We'll see if it fixes itself. This is day number 2 for crappy YouTube lag. Illyria, that's her name. That's the sister's name that I can't remember. Illyria. Yeah. Illyria. Wow, this bitrate is really sucking. I'm gonna give this like 5 more minutes. Ooh. Thank you, YouTube. YouTube ruining what was otherwise a good morning for me. Gotta love it. We've gone like weeks and weeks before with no lag, and now we've got this happening 2 days in a row. Time to switch to Twitch? Yeah, right. If I want 3 people to be watching, then I can go stream on Twitch. I don't think that's going to happen anytime in the future, but like, yeah, maybe multi-streaming wouldn't be a bad idea. For times when like this platform is just falling over for whatever reason. For about 10 seconds, 20 seconds. It might be better now. You guys might have to reload if you're still having problems. You might have to refresh the page. It looks like it's sorting itself back out. I think I'm gonna skip the Seraphil Haven quest. I'm gonna turn in the breadcrumb, but I'm not gonna take the follow-up. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing all that running around. Yeah, it looks like it's better now. Oh, I don't have inventory space. It would be a really smart idea while I'm at town to go ahead and empty my inventory. Is that how you get views on Twitch? Yeah. I can like make them dance. That's about all I can do. Does that work for you? That's about all I got.
I have one-of-a-kind items.
You have one-of-a-kind items. Ooh, we got a small black pouch at some point. Let's go ahead and drag that right on top of the 4 slot. Sell the 4 slot. Looking good now. Yeah, that's all I have to do. My kid gets a kick out of that. Blood thistle I can't use for alchemy. It increases spell power though. So like that's cool. Maybe I should keep some of that around. The lynx meat we can cook. The herb-baked eggs I can sell.
We will have justice.
Let's go ahead and do some cooking. And some alchemy for that matter. Yeah, I would never like exclusively stream on Twitch, but like maybe in the future I would do dual streaming. I don't know. I don't really know what's involved in setting up a dual stream and like broadcasting to both platforms at once. I don't know if it's easy, if it's a pain in the butt. I don't even know if I even have access to my Twitch account anymore. I did some streaming on Twitch back in the day. I streamed a game called Dauntless on Twitch a little bit. I streamed a game called The Outer Worlds, or Outer Wilds, not Outer Worlds, different games. I don't even know if I like have access to my Twitch account anymore. It's been like years since I've logged into it. Oh, this is like takes me right to a landing page. Okay, let's close that for now. I'll investigate it later. Oh, we're red again. We got more lag. We got more lag. As I contemplate dual streaming on Twitch, now we have more YouTube lag. YouTube is trying to tell me something. It's trying to tell me to get bent. Apparently YouTube does not want me here today. Yeah, YouTube is having some pretty awful problems today. Let's see. Nothing I can do at this point except to wait and hope that YouTube sorts it out. We're back to green again. It's gonna be just one of those days, I guess.
Do not loiter.
Yeah, now we're fine again.
Salama Ashalanore.
Yeah, I'm using OBS. I don't ever record through OBS. You know, all I do on OBS is I stream. When I record stuff, I use NVIDIA Shadowplay, but I don't record the streams. So yeah, I just use OBS to stream it to YouTube. That's it. Every once in a while, the YouTube ingestion server just does not want to ingest. It doesn't want to ingest. And so instead of ingesting, it regurgitates my stream, and then we have a spot of lag. Let's see. Okay, we'll go this way. We'll head over to the Scorched Grove. We have a talent point.
State your business. Shorel-Aran. We will have justice.
Belore Delana. Be ready for anything. We will have justice. Be ready for anything.
Oh, we got some pants with intellect and spirit. I'll take it. Severing axe of the whale. What does NVIDIA Shadowplay do that OBS doesn't? I have issues with OBS. Every time when I try to record using OBS, I've had too many times when I stop recording, it doesn't successfully wrap up the file. And so what I end up having is a useless file that is not usable. And I had it happen too many times. I did try to use OBS for a little while, because for a little while I was trying to use the Shure SM7B mic that most streamers use. The problem with that mic is that a lot of recording software only captures monotone with that mic, which means that unless you do some stuff in the software that you're recording with, the audio only goes into the left ear. And so with OBS, you can send the audio manually to both sides, even though it's technically mono. So I tried to use OBS for a while to do recordings back when Wrath first came out, and I was using the Shure SM7B mic. This was before I was even streaming. And I just had too many problems where I would record for an hour, I would end the recording, and OBS would fail while trying to wrap up the file, and I would end up with a wasted 1 hour that I didn't capture successfully. So I stopped using it for trying to record stuff.
Have you?
NVIDIA Shadowplay is much better. I've never had a problem with NVIDIA Shadowplay. It's never once failed me. I press record, I press end record, I end up with a file that is successfully recorded. As a consequence of that, I stopped using the Shure mic because there was no way with the software that I'm using to get the audio in both ears. It was just wasn't worth it. And at the time I wasn't streaming, so having the Shure SM7B mic, it didn't really benefit me a lot.
The reckoning is at hand.
Let's see, what are we doing? Okay, we're going back to the Grove. And then we should probably head over here to Rune Warder Darien and kind of like wrap all this stuff up and loop back around. Yeah, the first 3 Chronicle books are really good. Unfortunately, I have been hearing bad things about Chronicle Book 4, which just came out. The other Chronicle books have come out, like, they've been out for a long time. And the original Chronicle books were written by, like, Metzen and some of the older staff from, like, OG Blizzard. The new Chronicle book was just written by a freelance writer who writes stuff for video games. And so it was written by a dude, like, no offense to him, he's probably a great writer for what he does, but it was all written by a dude who, like, is not a World of Warcraft player, is not a World of Warcraft dev, is not a World of Warcraft writer. And so there are a lot of problems with Chronicle Book 4 about, like, about the chronology, the way in which it portrays events to happen, I guess is not at all the way that they happen in the game. So I like, eventually I'll probably check out Chronicle Book 4, but the quality of it is not, apparently not even close to, like, the quality of Chronicle 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, like, Chronicle Book 4 handles events like Mist of Pandaria and after. Do I remember Project Titan? Yeah, I do. Project Titan did end up, like, Overwatch is what Project Titan was, yeah. Project Titan was the idea that they would create another MMO universe. And that universe, like, eventually kind of, like, became the Overwatch universe. And then they realized, like, you don't make a product that competes directly with a product that you're already supporting. So eventually they realized they weren't going to be making another MMO because they already had an MMO. So kind of silly. I always thought they should have just did like World of Starcraft. I thought, look, you had Warcraft, that was an RTS. You made that into an MMO. You got Starcraft, that's an RTS. Why don't we make that into a MMO? Like, you have a sci-fi MMO. That could be something where it's like, yeah, it's an MMO, like it's a competing product, sort of, but also it's like a different type of universe. Yep, I used to think, like, when I was younger, like, for sure we'd get a StarCraft MMO, and then they just stopped supporting StarCraft and let the entire IP die. That was sad.
We will have justice.
It was sad when they just completely gave up on StarCraft.
Hold your head high.
Like, I got into StarCraft, like, before I got into Warcraft. Because I got into Warcraft a lot with Warcraft 3. StarCraft was out for, like, a long time before that. And so, like, I fell in love with StarCraft first. So when they completely stopped supporting StarCraft at all and stopped making the game, like, that was really sad. So not only do we not get a StarCraft MMO, we just don't get any more StarCraft ever at all. Ever. Just awful. Sometimes I wonder, like, now that Microsoft is at the forefront of Activision, and Microsoft seems to like RTS. Like, they did the whole Age of Empires 2 remaster, that was really good. They put out Age of Empires 4, like, go them for still making RTS games in an era where, like, nobody plays RTS. So, like, maybe someday we see more StarCraft. but I doubt it.
Victory lies ahead. Shorel Aran.
I'm listening. Trust no one.
I'm not gonna do this little quest right now. We'll save that for when we're actually going into the Ghostlands, which is gonna be a little while still. We have some stuff over here on the eastern side of the zone to take care of. The Starcraft shooter? Yeah, Starcraft Ghost. Yep, that looked like that was going to be cool as well. They pulled the plug on that pretty quick. And for a while we had Heroes of the Storm, and like at least with Heroes of the Storm, some of the heroes from like dead franchises got to live on. Like we got to see some of the Starcraft heroes, even though we were never going to get more Starcraft. We could have Starcraft heroes like in Heroes of the Storm, and then they killed Heroes of the Storm too. Thanks, Blizz. Like 2 games I really liked, Starcraft and Heroes of the Storm, dead. Sometimes I almost install Heroes of the Storm and see if anybody still plays it. I haven't done it, but sometimes I get really close. Play Warcraft Rumble? No, not the same. No, no, just no. No. I'll play League of Legends before I play Warcraft Rumble. And I'll probably never play League of Legends, although I heard they have a new Vampire Survivor mode in League of Legends. Remember when I kept saying that Warcraft needed to have a Vampire Survivors mode? Because Vampire Survivors is like super accessible and really fun. And League of Legends has one, and I have been very tempted to go check out the League of Legends Vampire Survivors mode. I would probably never play a real match of League of Legends, because at this point, like, if you haven't been playing, you just can't play. But I am very interested in a Vampire Survivors type gameplay. So there may come a day, like, when that happens. Yeah, it could happen. What is Vampire Survivors? You got to look it up. the way to, at this point, the way to describe other games is to say it's like Vampire Survivors. So it's kind of hard now to like actually describe vampire. It's like I don't know. I can't even describe it. You watch like a couple minutes of gameplay and it'll explain it. I think I played some Vampire Survivors on this channel at some point back near when it first came out. Very fun, just a really fun game to play. It has roguelike progression and like a bunch of unlockables. Like it's just incredibly fun just to play. I don't know if you'd call it, like, I guess it's like an auto battler. It's not really an auto battler, it kind of is. Yeah, at this point we use that term to describe other games, so it's hard to like describe it.
We will persevere. Stay the course.
Alright, I feel like now we're gonna head over to the east and we're gonna do all the stuff over that way. Maybe I should just like, maybe I should run through here. We can grab this guy's head. We can fill the vial of water. We can kill this guy. We can kill the name guys, I guess, before we do the other stuff. Which would be fine with me. It's really easy to get into it. Like, it's really, once you start playing it, it's really easy to get, like, hooked on it. For a long time, like, my wife and I were playing it on the Xbox, like, every day. It has couch co-op now, which is, like, really awesome. Death Must Die was enjoyable. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Obviously, like, it didn't do well on the channel, but nothing that I do these days that isn't WoW does well on the channel. Unless it's like another MMO. I lost my elemental. We're getting pretty close to capping out Herbalism. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that, and we are gonna have to make a trip to Silvermoon, like, pretty soon. I think when we get into Ghostlands, one of the first quests we get is a breadcrumb that takes us back to Silvermoon, so maybe at that point it would be a good idea. Actually, we have a breadcrumb from Fairbreeze to go back. Yeah, we should probably do that soon. Have we played It Takes Two? We have not. No, I haven't played that game at all. These days I don't have a lot of time for, like, other games, and for my wife, games are, like, sporadic. Like, she has spent, like, months and months at a time just carving through a bunch of games, and then she'll go, like, a year without playing anything. Like, there was, like, a 6-month period where she beat The Witcher 3, she beat Hogwarts, there was, like, a few other ones. Immortals Phoenix Rising she beat. There was like a 6 or 7 month period where she like carved through a bunch of really awesome games and I got to like watch. And then like since then, like she's just been on like a hiatus. It's not something that like constantly holds her interest. She'll just have like periods of time where she's like really into something, and then periods of time when she doesn't play at all. Because unlike me, she has other stuff she likes to do. I don't really have a lot of other hobbies. ADHD is hard. You just have other stuff that you're into. Like, a lot of people that are gamers, like, that's just their hobby. The thing they like to do in their free time is game. You have lots of stuff that you like to do with your free time, so that just means a lot of times you're not going to be playing video games. And the other thing is, like, you tend to only like games that are good. And, like, the amount of, like, truly good single-player games is limited. And, like, honestly, you've played a bunch of really good single-player games. I'm sure if something else comes out that catches your eye, maybe you'll play it. But yeah, right now, I can't really even think of anything. I don't really want to play co-op games. I don't want to play games with my wife. I would prefer that she play the game and I'm just watching the game. Because I play games all day. So, like, when it comes time to be done playing games, like, I like to be done playing games, but I would still love to watch somebody else play games. I just don't want to be pressing buttons anymore, kind of. That's kind of the point I get to. I don't really need to be down here yet, but it would be nice just to kill these name guys and then get out of here. Eventually, I think we get a quest to come back and like kill these guys, but let's do it this way and see how this feels. Elden Ring. I don't think she's going to play Elden Ring. I'm not even going to play Elden Ring. Elden Ring is hard. It's hard, and unlike games like The Witcher, there's no like difficulty setting to kind of like get your feet under you. At least with The Witcher, you can start off on like super easy, and then like as you kind of get better, you can ratchet the difficulty up. Like with Elden Ring, it's like it's all or nothing. It's going to be hard from like the beginning to the end. I haven't even really bothered putting any time into it. I don't even really appreciate the difficulty of it. I'm sure doing this in this order is not going to be like super beneficial to me. But that's okay. It means we'll spend a little bit of extra time in this zone. And it's my favorite zone, so it's okay if we spend a little bit of extra time here. Amy, you're done working for the day? Well, that's cool. What happened? It's like, that's it? I'm done? Or are you still not feeling good? 1 o'clock is a good time to be done working. Can I survive this? Oh, we're not gonna hit the water. Oh, we lived. Okay, we're fine. You're still feeling bad. I'm sorry. It's a good time to be done then. I think I'm gonna hold off on this other guy because I'm positive we'll get a quest to come back here and fight these guys. Well, I mean, taking 3 sick days, you're gonna have carryover. Like you're not gonna get everything done in this sprint that was on your sprint, and you're not supposed to. If you take 3 days off, like some of your stuff should roll over to the next sprint. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Zelda would be a good game for you to play, Amy. Zelda, I think you would enjoy Zelda. That's not a bad it's not a bad call out.
Be ready for anything.
I would say with Zelda though, like play it on the handheld. Like don't play it on the TV. It's gonna suffer from the same problem that every single Switch game suffers from, which is that it's gonna be in 30 FPS, which like it looks good on the handheld. It just doesn't look. It looks like trash on a television set.
State your business. Death to all.
Imagine a day in the world where we could play a fucking Zelda game at 60 frames. At 60 FPS. Like imagine. Just imagine that it's not capped in 30 FPS.
Our enemies will fall.
How amazing would that world be? How amazing would that be? Yeah, this is the reason why like I don't play Zelda games, because I cannot play a game in 30 frames. Like no matter how gorgeous your artwork is, If I move my character and like the whole game world shreds to garbage, like then the game looks like garbage. And like I'm really hoping that whenever they come out with the Switch 2.0, that they at least figure out how to get their technology to render in like 1080 60. I don't want a lot. Like I don't even need it to be in 1440. I don't need it to be in 4K. I really just absolutely have to have it in 1080 60, otherwise it looks like ass and I can't play it. Like so many Switch games I would probably play if they just didn't look terrible, if they just didn't run terrible. One day they'll figure it out. Until then, Nintendo is like, they're holding all of these great intellectual properties hostage on some of the worst hardware that has ever been invented by mankind. It's like the absolute worst hardware ever created. With a chip that was like 12 years old when the system was concocted, and now is like a 20-year-old chip. My cell phone is 700 times more powerful than my Switch. That's not okay. It's incredible, actually, that Nintendo gets away with it. That people still buy their games and play their games. Especially because they want to charge you like 70 bucks for the new Zelda. You want to charge me 70 bucks to play your game in 30 frames a second? Really? Really? No thanks. I have to take a hard pass on that. Fisher, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad I can do something to help out. Thanks for hanging out with the stream. Alright, what am I actually going after here? We need berserkers and axe throwers. My names are getting out of control a little bit. Yeah, I was really lazy with this one, that's true. Rambler, blah, blah. Like, it's just like, it's a nonsense syllable attached to the end of my name. Yeah, the names are getting a little bit out of hand. Marlena, good afternoon and welcome. Yeah, I'm running out of names and special characters, so... what you gonna do? At least it's not Ramblabla. You know, next character I make will be named Ramblabla. So look forward to that. Rambla. Rambla. Those are some possibilities, yep. I have like 7 mages already, yeah. Do I have a mage already? Somewhere in my deleted list there's like 8 mages. Yeah. Somewhere in the deleted list. Along with all the other forgotten tunes. Yeah, I had the one that I started when Wrath was still out. When I thought I was gonna have like 6 months until Cataclysm was gonna come out, I started a mage. And then Cataclysm was announced to come out way early, and I just like lost all motivation to play. This is not that mage, this is a fresh mage. It's easier for me just to, if it's a low level character that's like, oh, I got to like level 20, it's easier for me just to like roll up a new character. Once a character gets into the deleted list, even if I bring them back out, it's unlikely that I'll ever like get invested in them again. Rightly so, the delete list is where characters go to die. Want to talk about the warbands? I logged on today and I looked at the warband screen. And I shuffled some characters around. I clicked on them and I made them stand up. I logged into the game. I realized there was nothing to do in the game. And then I logged out. That was my experience with pre-patch. I looked at the screen like, yep, this is the warband screen. The one we know and love from the beta. Here are my characters. What I was kind of surprised was like it lists all of your characters, like even though they're not on that server. Like I could scroll down and see characters that were on like random servers. And so that was neat, I guess. But yeah, it's like there's nothing hype in this pre-patch.
Victory lies ahead.
And the biggest reason why there's nothing hype in the pre-patch is because like there's no new races. This pre-patch would have been very hype if they had put the Earthen in and the Dark Trolls. If the pre-patch had opened with Earthen and Dark Trolls, we would be leveling up a Dark Troll right now. Like, end of story.
The reckoning
but because there's no content in the pre-patch, I don't really plan on playing the pre-patch. I'm gonna check out the event that starts on the 30th. We'll check out the event and like, I don't need the event because it drops the really low level gear that sucks. But I'll check it out for like a couple hours and that'll probably be it. The war bank is also broken, and also let's call it the war bank, please. I don't know why they didn't call it the war bank themselves. It's obviously, it sounds better, it's shorter. Calling it the warband bank is like, it's too many words. Just call it the war bank. It's broken. Warbank is broken. You can't undelete... Right now, you cannot undelete characters in retail. If you have a deleted character that you thought, maybe I'll pull this character out and I'll play them, you cannot do that. That function is currently broken. No ETA on when you will ever be able to undelete characters ever again. You might not ever be able to. They don't seem to know how to make it work with the new warband stuff. Yeah, right now my warband screen consists of my priest, my paladin, my mage, and my shaman. That's my current And they just kind of stand there. I wish there were like more poses for them to be in. I wish they could like kind of mill around and do stuff. The other weird thing I've noticed is that the artwork and the assets like on your warband screen, they're not really to scale with your characters. The assets and artwork on the warband screen are too big. Like something about all of like the tables and like the trinkets and the swords and the like, they're not to the right scale. It feels really weird, and I hope they look at that and they fix it for like future background screens.
The eternal sun guides us. The reckoning is at hand. Be ready for anything. We will have justice.
I'll be excited when there's content to play. Like I just like there's nothing in the pre-patch. I thought the pre-patch was gonna have some prologue story stuff, like a prologue story quest line. As far as I can tell, there is not any kind of real quest line. There will probably be like 1 or 2 quests that'll open up the world event, but that, to me, that's not like story. I was really hoping for story of some kind, and like without that, I'm just waiting for the game to actually come out. Like, from my perspective, since there's no content in the pre-patch, there's nothing to be excited about. I'm just waiting for the game to actually come out now. I'm really excited to play the game. Like, I love to play War Within right now. Unfortunately, hey, it's less than a month away. We are 1 month minus 2 days away from being able to actually play the game, and so that's good. Yeah, I'm sure some people are like, they're excited about the Transmog stuff. Like, as a person that only cares about Transmog a little bit, like, it's a really cool change. But to me, it's a cool change that I will passively benefit from. It's not a change that's going to inspire, like, gameplay. It's a change that, like, in the fullness of time, I will passively benefit from it. But that being said, I've leveled most of the alts that I'm going to level. This change would have really helped me out in Dragonflight. If you were able to like just add to your transmog anything you pick up for any armor class, that would have helped me out a lot in Dragonflight, because I have played most of the characters that I'm going to play. The only other classes that I think I want to level is like they've made some changes to the monk. They've pruned a lot of the abilities on the monk, so it's no longer like too many buttons to push. So I'd like to try a monk at some point. Besides that, there really isn't anything else that I even feel like slightly compelled to level up that I don't already have. So it's like, that's really cool that they're doing that now, but for me, like, it's too little too late to benefit me. It'll benefit me going forward, but that's it. It'll just be like a nice little extra thing that's happening if I'm ever leveling a character up. Dante, that's awesome, man. They're really good. I would say hold off on Chronicle 4, but like the first 3 Chronicle books are amazing. And if you've never read them before, you're going to learn a lot of stuff about the lore and about the world that you didn't know, and it's all really good. Yeah, keep in mind, I'm the kind of person, like, I have never once done any content just for Transmog. I have never visited an old dungeon. I have never soloed an old raid. I have never done a single piece of content in my entire life simply to try to get Transmog. I've never once stepped foot into an old raid and soloed it to see if I can get some Transmog. I've never done it. It has never been like a thing that has compelled me. And I sometimes I think like maybe I will, but then I'm like, I just kind of like collecting whatever I collect, whatever I happen to collect, and then just like making up a look based on what I have. I don't know if I'll ever be like compelled, like, ooh, I really have to go get tier 3 armor because it's just the coolest armor. Like, my brain doesn't really work like that. I don't know why. I feel like that's the kind of player, like, Blizzard wants me to be that kind of player in retail, and I don't think I'm ever going to be. So, like, for as long as I'm not that kind of player, like, some of the things they do in retail are going to be lost on me. Because, yeah, I think they really want me to be a player that cares about that kind of stuff, and I haven't been able to carry yet. This guy's a rare spawn. I've never seen him before. That was a nice chunk of XP. Yeah, and a lot of the old raids I've never seen. I've never done Karazhan. I've never completed Magister's Terrace. Like, there are parts of the game that I would be seeing for the first time, so, like, I could do it. Like, I just never really get compelled to. Maybe one day we'll do it on a stream. We'll have a stream where I go back and I just solo some old raids. Just collect. Even doing that, like, I wouldn't be after, like, any specific armor sets. I would just be clearing the raid, and then, like, whatever we get, we get. And I feel like to go after certain armor sets, like, you have to clear the raid, like, week after week after week after week, like, waiting to get the drops that you want. It feels like something you'd have to be very targeted. Like, I know I want these pieces, I know they drop off these bosses, and now I have to farm these bosses every single week of my life until they drop what I want. We gotta go to Silvermoon, like, maybe as soon as we're done with these quests, we have to go to Silvermoon. I definitely don't want to have this capped out. There's not really, like, a good reason to have it capped out.
What business have you?
Speaking of heritage armor is something that I would like to go after eventually.
We will have justice.
Yeah, there are some heritage armor sets that, like, I need to go after. I need to get. There's no excuse for me not to have some of them. Like, I have a night elf that's Cap, my warrior. I need to go after the night elf heritage armor. We got the human heritage armor. We got the void elf heritage armor. I need to go after more of the heritage armor stuff. The unfortunate thing, and I know this is the whole point of the armor. The unfortunate thing is like only that race can wear the armor. I know that that's like kind of the point of heritage armor, but I do wish that it just kind of opened it up. Like once you got the heritage armor, I wish anybody could wear it. I know that's like not the point of it, but yeah, I heard the Blood Elf heritage armor quest was really good. And I do have a Blood Elf. I think he's in my delete list. He's like level 62. So I could jump on that Blood Elf and I could go do that. But then like even if I get the armor, like unless I play the Blood Elf, then the armor is kind of useless. That's kind of like the one bad thing about the heritage armors. Is like unless you're gonna actually like play as that race, it doesn't really benefit you to have them. Do I have a standing desk? No. I haven't. My posture must be good today. I haven't been asked that for a long time. Nope, this is me sitting. I wish I had a standing desk. But I am broke. I don't have any money. So if I ever have money, then I will have a standing desk. Because yeah, I would love to. If I had a standing desk, I would probably stand the entire time that I'm streaming. I would probably never sit.
The reckoning is at hand.
Yeah, if I don't put effort into having proper posture, then my back will hurt. That's one of the consequences of being a tall person. It's like, if I don't do this, if I don't at least make some effort to have like better posture, then it's going to kill me. So. And this posture right now, this is still not good. I have a lot of pressure like in my lower back right now. But there's really nothing else I can do about it. Without like a more expensive chair or without standing up, there's really nothing else I can do with my posture. This is about as good as it gets.
Anubilore Delana, the reckoning is at hand. Glory to the Sindori.
How tall am I? I'm 6'4".
Our enemies will fall. Anubilore Delana, Anaria Shola.
This dude got a bunch of people killed, and then he just destroyed all the evidence.
Glory to the Sindori.
And we helped him do it.
We will have justice.
So Transmog in Cataclysm, I have to equip, right? I can't just vendor it. I have to actually put it on. If you vendor it, it does get saved. Okay, I didn't think it worked like that. I thought that was a retail thing. Let's see. We have... Is this the Mage quest? Okay, let's go do this. Let's go do the Mage quest. And then we're gonna head into Silvermoon. We have to train... Herbalism. My wife brought me some food, so actually, I'm gonna turn my camera off. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna eat for a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. Now, Aaron, you say it won't credit you. Yeah, I thought the retail one, vendoring it is fine. I thought Cataclysm, we have to equip. So I'll have to look into that and see. Let's see, I'm gonna eat. So my cam will be off. For a bit. Boop. And I will see you guys on the flip side.
State your business. Farewell. Remember the sun well. The reckoning is at hand.
Glory to the Sindorai. Farewell.
Do not loiter. Shorelaran. have one-of-a-kind items. Keep your wits about you.
What business have you?
The dark times will pass. Shorelaran.
Alright, I'm back. Although I'll probably have to go away to refill my coffee anyway, in a couple minutes here. Why did we give up on the Druid? Horrible casting animations, yeah. Just really, really bad, almost like it was so bad that it's hard to believe that it's not just bugged out. That's how bad it was. Like, the dude, he kind of moves his hands around, and then the wrath just randomly shoots out of one of the hands. It almost looks like... It looks like a completely physically incompetent person trying to throw a softball. Like, I guess that's the nicest way I can put it. I could put it in a lot more, like, a brutal way. Let's just leave it at, it looks like a physically incompetent person attempting to throw a softball for the first time in their life, after never having seen a softball before, and after never having any idea how to throw anything. Like, somebody spent their life in a coma, and they woke up, and then you hand them a softball, and you're like, throw this softball! And that's what it looks like when the Worgen cast Wrath. And I couldn't fathom looking at that anymore.
Yes.
And I guess maybe all of their animations for casting are just as bad as that. I don't know.
Victory.
Yeah, I've been told that their melee animations are better, so...
Time is of the essence.
I think if I want to play a Worgen, I'll probably do like a Worgen Rogue. A Worgen Rogue sounds okay. And then I don't have to worry about casting animations. Wonder what the female Worgen animation looks like. I imagine it's probably much the same. I really don't like how the female Worgen look at all. I don't really know how I feel about how the Worgen look in general. I remember at some point, like, after Cataclysm, there was a point in time when they had to remake the Worgen models, because people had a lot of complaints about the Worgen. I don't remember, like, specifically what those complaints were, but I remember people did not like how they looked, and they especially didn't like how the females looked. And now in retail, we have Worgen that look very, very different than the Worgen that we have here in Cataclysm. And I don't know when it changed. If you wanted to be a cat druid or a bear druid, it wouldn't matter. I wanted to be a balanced druid, and I wanted to use the glyph of star form. Like, I'm not going to be a were-chicken. So my plan was to use the glyph of star form, just stay a Worgen, and we were going to be a casting druid. We were not going to be a bear or a cat. or a moonkin. And then I just saw how bad the animation was, and I couldn't do it. So yeah, that's the full story behind that. I have this quest to fly to Silvermoon City, but it's like it's already gray, so I'm just gonna drop it. Oh, we also got a quest to go after that dude's head. I never went back to kill that named guy. Let's see. Let's hearth back. Oh, you know what I should do while I'm here? Let's run over to Falcon Wing Square, and I want to train my mage skills. This is not going to get us out. We have to go this way. Look at this. I noticed this. I didn't know this before. So I used Blood Thistle to increase my spell power by a small amount for 10 minutes. After you use this and the 10 minutes runs out, you have Blood Thistle withdrawal. Lack of Blood Thistle has reduced your intellect by 5. We straight up get addicted to this herb. And now I have to keep using it forever. I'm permanently addicted to Blood Thistle. And if I don't pop it, we have to go through withdrawals. I've never done that before. I've never used this item before to see that interaction. And that's a really, like, on-point interaction for the Blood Elves to have. I like that.
Anu Belore Delanar. Time is of the essence.
Blood Moon, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here.
The eternal sun guides us. Keep your wits about you.
I do have a pinned comment. Thank you. Pretty typical. Alright, I guess we'll go over here and we will kill this named guy. After I collect all of the herbs. Ooh, a rare. Nice. Yep, we've been making some pretty steady progress. Unfortunately, we're also out-leveling some stuff. This first quest into the Ghostlands, I guess I should have done that when I was originally down that way, because now it's gray, which is sort of a bummer.
Spirits be with you, man.
It's nice that even though most of the enemies are no longer worth experience, that the herbs are still worth experience. We're still getting 160 XP, even from Peace Bloom. So that's nice. Oh, you know what? I should still be fighting this stuff. Yeah, see, this is my mistake. I should still be killing the stuff that we're running past because I still need mats for cooking. Especially because we haven't been doing any fishing yet. Like, the cats drop meat, the dragon hawks drop eggs, and there's really no reason for me not to just kill every single one that I come past. Because, yeah, we need to keep leveling this up. What do I think they'll do with these zones? They'll probably remake them. Maybe they'll incorporate like some of the basic design and expand on it. I'm not sure. It'd be weird if they did like a Cataclysm level remake, but they probably will. It'll probably be like very much like a Cataclysm remake. The only thing we can hope is that when they do remake this zone, that they don't ruin it. And also, whatever they do with the remake, I would like the remake to only be for max level characters. And then if you're leveling up a Blood Elf, I still feel like you should start in the past. You should start in this zone that we're in right now. And I feel like the remake should only be like higher level content. I don't know. I kind of worry about them remaking this and then like removing it from the game entirely. The area of the world that the Amani trolls are supposed to inhabit is supposed to be much larger anyway. So it would make sense for them to expand out into that area. Because it's actually like... Yeah, like, I feel like there should just be like a lot more land here. And all of it should be like Amani troll lands. Would make more sense.
Everything has a price. Remember the sun well.
Why do I have the pet? Like this guy? Apparently in Cataclysm, Frost Mage is a pet class. Yeah, and I didn't know that before we were playing it. But yeah, in Cataclysm, Frost Mage has the water elemental and they stay out with you, like, the entire time. That gets changed. I think in Mist of Pandaria, maybe they revert that. And it goes back to being like a cooldown.
We will have
but for now, we just have a permanent pet. And like, I'm kind of okay with it. Because unlike other pets, he doesn't run up and tank stuff. He just stands back like a turret and he shoots stuff. And I don't mind turrets. I don't mind turrets. I don't like pets that go tank for you. So he's actually okay. And somebody pointed out, like, if I played a Warlock, I could just keep the Imp out, and the Imp would be much the same. Instead of going off to tank for me, it would just be a turret. And I would still be, like, dealing with the monster directly. If it got that close to us. Robert, good afternoon, man. Welcome to the stream. Oh, did they wipe talent points with the pre-patch? Oh no. I was hoping they wouldn't do that. Yeah, that's really bad. So in other words, like, depending on how many characters you have, up to an hour of going to Wowhead and looking up the current build for your spec. I have to do that then. I didn't realize they completely reset everybody's talents. Ugh. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad I know now and not like the next time I try to get on to actually play. I'll have to get that done tonight for like every character that I have. So definitely have to do it for the priest and the paladin. But yeah, that sucks. I had gotten everybody's build where I wanted it. Like everybody's build was good. Even my warrior had a good build, and I don't even play the warrior. But I had made sure to go on and spec her properly. Now I have to do all that again. Ugh. I thought you got 1 hero point to spend right away at 70. Is that not true? Somebody told me we get into the hero talents, but we only get the 1 point to spend. Maybe that's not the case. It is at 71. Oh, okay. Well, that's lame. This pre-patch has been like just kind of lame, you know? Like a lot of pre-patches you get an allied race. I'm pretty sure like the Dragonflight pre-patch we got Evokers, didn't we? Didn't we unlock Evokers with the Dragonflight pre-patch? Like you got a new race and a new class. This pre-patch is kind of lame comparatively. No allied races, no story quest. So yeah, at this point I'm just waiting for War Within to come out. I don't plan to spend a lot of time playing during pre-patch. Season 4 is over, so I'm assuming like no one's really doing Mythics anymore. And I'm just waiting. This is probably what I'm going to be playing until War Within comes out. So we have, you know, just about 30 days to get this character capped out and like get him into heroics and do whatever we want. And I'll probably just focus on this for the streams. I might do some other stuff in recorded series. I've been thinking about finishing my Death Knight in Mist of Pandaria remix in the recorded series. I might go back and do that. But I think as far as the streams go, I'm gonna spend my time on this character. Unless we get this character maxed out like really, really quick. And then we can do other stuff, but I'm trying to do a holistic playthrough here where we level up all of our professions and do everything on the way. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we got Evokers in the Dragonflight pre-patch. Yeah, this pre-patch is really underwhelming. It would have been really cool to get the Earthen and the Hanar in the pre-patch. I think that would have been a lot more hype. As it is, we're not getting Earth until the game opens up, and we're not getting Hanar until, like, maybe ever. I don't know.
Not seek death.
Lael, right on, man. I appreciate that. If it's hot where you're at, be careful out there, man. It rained for a week straight. Eek. That sounds terrible. I have to get the recipe. There should be a recipe for meaty bat wings. Yeah, we can cook these. I know we can. We have to get the recipe for it like right away. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be underwhelmed with the pre-patch. There's just nothing to do, you know. You're just waiting for the expansion to come out at this point. You're not like there's really nothing else. It really sucks. I guess like if you want to play an Earthen and you want to play an Earthen when the game opens up, I guess you can just level boost it. I'm assuming you can level boost an Earthen. Maybe you can even race change to an Earthen when they open up on launch day. Because it would suck to be someone who wants to play as an Earthen and then you have to wait until
dark
launch to
times
level your
will
character
pass.
from 1 to 70 or whatever.
Farewell. The
That would be a
reckoning
bummer.
is at hand.
I'm listening.
Be quick about your business.
We have to unlock the trade goods guy
What is it?
before he will sell us trade goods, apparently. And I think he has the recipe for the meaty bat wings.
I am forsaken. Embrace the shadow. What do you require?
The dark times will pass.
What is it? Victory for Sylvanus.
People are not happy that Earthen can be Horde anyway. Like, yeah, people are not happy that the Earthen can be Horde. And yeah, I think they just don't want dwarfs on the Horde side. It doesn't matter anymore because everything is cross-faction, but like if you're like a person that appreciates the vibe of the Horde, the Earthen are not the Horde. They're not the Horde vibe. It doesn't make sense for them to join either faction really, like at all, but I mean, the Alliance has all the dwarves already, so like naturally they would end up on the Alliance. It is weird to think that like you could be a Horde Earthen character. There are sides like
the eternal sun.
it's
guides
about
us.
feel. That's why people are mad. And this is the thing, like you don't need to be able to be an Earthen Horde side character because everything meaningful as far as gameplay is handled like cross faction. But what it does is if you're a person, whether you're a role player or whether you're just a person that just kind of gets into the vibe of the faction, it messes with the vibe of the faction. That you're on the Horde side and now you have a Dwarven race. So I get it. I don't think they should be Horde side either. I think that the Earthen should be Alliance and that the Hanar should be Horde side. And then everything's cross-faction, so all the gameplay stuff doesn't matter. And now you can be in a guild with cross-faction, so now that doesn't matter. But what matters to some people is just the actual vibe that the faction has.
Farewell.
And yeah, it's a real thing. Doesn't matter to everybody, but the people that it does matter to, it matters to them a lot. We're going to have to be really good at tackling this stuff in level order. Because if I don't tackle this stuff in level order, we're going to out-level a lot of the stuff here. We're already out-leveling this quest, actually. Do I prefer playing Classic over Retail? Nope. I don't prefer either over the other. I have times when I play Classic, I have times when I play Retail. And that's it. I feel like these days the content on the channel is pretty well balanced between the two. And I'm happy with that.
Our enemies will fall. The reckoning is at hand. We will have justice. Keep your wits about you.
Alright, let's go get this guy's supplies. I would really like to open up the trade goods vendor. I want to see if he has the recipe to cook the meaty bat wings. So we're going to run out and do that really fast. Is AoE leveling in Cata a thing? I'm not sure. I feel like they adjusted like the kill XP, so it may not be. It may be more efficient just to do quests, but I don't know. I've never really done the whole AoE mage leveling thing. Not really what I like to do. You know the ground clutter is dense when you're literally standing right on top of an herb and it's sparkling and you still don't see it. That's when you know you got some really, really dense ground clutter. And potentially bad eyesight.
Quick about your business. Hello.
He doesn't have the recipe that I thought he would. I wonder who has the recipe. We got spider kebabs. But there should be one for the meaty bat wings. I know there's somebody in Brill who has it. Am I gonna have to go to Brill to get this? Potentially.
I haven't got all day.
She doesn't have it.
Goodbye.
Maybe there's a vendor over by the cooking trainer that has it. Cooking trainer and supplies. Okay, yeah, maybe this guy.
Everything has a price. Remember the Sunwell.
Yeah, he's got it.
Farewell.
Oh, it's not for the meaty bat wings though. Yeah, that's really weird. Maybe I have to go to Brill to get it. I know there's a recipe to cook these, so I'm not going to sell them. At some point I will head over to Brill and we will have to see if we can get it there. Because yeah, there should be something.
Choose wisely. Remember the Sunwell.
It is only available in Brill. Okay, at some point I will make my way out there to get that then. Alchemy. I need some more vials. The buff, I believe, was for spirits. Yeah, I'm not eating a lot of the buff food. Right now, I'm just trying to get it leveled up. So I haven't been, like, very concerned about eating it because we don't really need it, but
Exactly what
it was probably like a stamina or spirit buff that you saw. Should probably just do the healing. It's still yellow. Like, as long as it's yellow, I should probably just do this.
trust no one.
Alright, not bad. Alchemy 76, Herbalism 90, Cooking 74, First Aid. First Aid. Oh, look at that. We do have Heavy Linen. Yep, things are coming along quite nicely, actually. Alright, guys, I am going to stop right here for today. My wife still isn't feeling well. My kid has a bunch of energy, and I'm going to see if I can convince him to work out with me and kind of like drain some of his energy for the rest of the day. But yeah, I'm having a really good time here. We're going to keep doing this, so we'll be back tomorrow. And the plan for the streams is just to level this character. Just like we've been doing it, we're going to keep doing professions. We're going to take it nice and slow. Make sure that everything is leveling up with us as we go from zone to zone. So yeah, I appreciate you guys being here for it. Thanks so much for the support. Would love to see you guys again tomorrow. As always, take care of yourselves out there and take care of each other, and we will see you back in Azeroth again very soon. Bye for now.